Hey everyone, I'm Lesley from the Lesley Love Wellness Program, and I am here today with Yvette. She is actually my first client whenever the program was in the making. And so we're going to be interviewing her today and talking about her experience after she signed up for my vegan meal plan, which is within my program. So for those of you who don't know about the program, the Lesley Love Wellness Program. I'm going to actually share my screen for you guys to see if I can do that. Oh, I don't think it's going to let me do that. But so basically, the wellness program offers fitness and meal plans that are designed to transform your health in a natural and a positive way. So the program offers the opportunity to heal your mind, body, and spirit through a detoxing diet and a consistent workout schedule. So this is a program for those who are disciplined, who are ready to be committed and consistent. And I believe that eating healthy and fitness is a lifestyle. And I believe that the power to heal yourself is within you. So that is why we are here today with Yvette to talk about her leap of faith and how she transitioned from a meat diet to a vegan diet. And so first, I just want to say, Yvette, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Trying to stay
Awesome.
warm at this point.
Right. For sure. So let's go ahead and get started. So first, let's just talk about your decision to start the vegan diet, right? So what all went into your decision? Was it like a sudden decision, or was it something that you had been thinking about for a while? Tell us what all went into your decision.
Actually, it was a sudden decision. There was a lot going on at the time in my life, and it was like a bell went off, and it was just kind of like, you got to change something. Like, I was experiencing a lot of physical issues over the years, just physical issues, and I had been trying to manage it with treatment,
Mm-hmm.
not actually fixing what was the problem and not realizing what the problem was. I was just stomach issues, digestion issues, not realizing that it might be what I'm eating, and also, sometimes you make little choices and they don't have an effect. So you think, okay, that's not it, right?
Right.
That can't be the problem.
Right.
But so it was sudden. Again, it was partly emotional,
Mhm.
partly physical. I just wanted to feel better.
Right.
I was done. I was like, I'm done. I'm really done with being uncomfortable. Like, I
Mhm.
just don't want to be uncomfortable anymore.
Mhm.
And I just said, okay, today is the day. And
Right.
when I had not researched it to the level that I have now, really had no doubt. I just knew that if I go to Whole Foods, there's going to be something there for me,
Right.
right? If
Right.
I don't want to eat meat, if I don't want to do dairy, if I'm not doing eggs,
Mhm.
there's a whole section of food for me,
Mm.
right? And
Right.
so that was no education whatsoever. I just knew what Whole Foods could do and
Right.
Sprouts. And those were the two places. So that's kind of how I started,
Okay.
um, which actually made it very easy because I didn't really have to think about it.
Mhm.
It
Right.
was just this because there was an outlet. And I think I'm learning that that's different from today. Today is different from 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
Right.
Someone can make a decision today and say, I'm no longer going to eat that and have alternatives.
Mhm.
So that was kind of the crust of the decision. It was emotional, it was a physical, and it was kind of, you got to do something different.
Mhm.
And again, it was emotional. My dad had passed, and
Mhm.
it was like, if I don't change my life today,
Right.
I'm mentally not going to be well. Like,
Mm.
I felt like if I didn't, like, that loss was hard. And I was like, if I
Yeah.
don't mentally fix something,
Mhm.
I'm not going to be okay. Like, it was that chilling to me. Like, I won't be okay because, and people are like, well, how do you connect the food to your emotion?
Oh,
It
wow.
was something in my mind that said, if you don't change what you're eating,
Mm-hmm.
emotionally, you're going to implode.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I was like, and it was very like 24-hour period, like just boom.
Mm-hmm.
And um, not that I was making the best decisions when I decided it, but because I had an outlet to at least get started,
Okay.
that didn't stop me. Like if I go to Whole Foods and say, okay, I'm going to get my vegetables, but if I want a burger, what do I get? Go there. Oh, wow. They've got this chickpea salad that kind of is like chicken salad.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
ate it and was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah. That's
Right.
literally what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't find a lot of nasty things. It was really easy because of the outlet. Now,
Mm-hmm.
of course, as you get educated, that's when, like about a week or two later, is that when I got the plan from you and everything that
Mm-hmm.
kind of balanced everything out.
Okay.
But I think having that initial transition to just say, yes, you can do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now let me get educated and do it. Right. Like,
Right. Right.
but most things don't work that way. You know what I mean? I think that was the difference, is that there were so many options
Mm-hmm.
that how would I fail?
Right. Exactly.
And I think that's the difference between when I hear people talk about it took me years.
Mm.
It was 10 or 20 years ago. You have to make do with, they had to make do with different things. There weren't a lot of options to, um, the chefs they have now, just so many people that you can communicate with.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that aren't extreme. I think that's another thing. I don't, when people say vegan, I don't think I'm there yet, because I respect that vegan
Mm-hmm.
thought process of, that's a complete lifestyle, from what you put in your mouth to what you put on your body, to the clothes you wear, to the shoes you wear. That level of consideration, I'm not there yet. So when people say vegan, I'm like, I don't think I can claim that yet.
Right. Something
I'm
that you can't
not there
take.
because I don't want to disrespect
Yeah.
that mission. That's a mission. That's a ministry.
Yeah.
Like, you are like trying to stop people from hurting animals. And I've never been really an animal person. Not that
Mhm.
I don't have compassion for them, but I'm not connected
Right.
that process. So yeah, I think it's definitely a process. I don't know if I'll ever get there. I think right now my focus is personal health.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big thing, is my health. I
Yeah.
want to have control. And it made me feel like, oh, wow, I
Mm-hmm.
actually had control. I was a little upset initially,
Mm.
because at my age, and I remember the things I've been through,
Mm-hmm.
I could have done something
Mm.
that I had about a week of that where I was pissed off at myself. Like, are you serious?
Wow.
Like, that click. But then it was like, well, hey, but maybe 20 years, 25 years ago, it would have been so hard that I wouldn't have been successful.
Mm.
It was
So
so easy
timing.
now, you
Yeah.
know. So, then you have to chuck it up to, it just wasn't time. Hey,
Right.
keep it moving, move forward. You have those moments and you'd be
Yeah.
like, get over it, move on. Nothing you can do about it. So, but it
Yeah.
was amazing to me, that epiphany of, wow, I can make myself feel better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing, because I know, for a lot of people, it is just getting started that is the hardest part for them. And so, I definitely wanted them to hear your experience, because maybe it's something that they can relate to and be like, hey, I was like that. And honestly, once you get started, like, you are on it. And
Yeah.
so, you know, that is beautiful. So now I want to get into, now that you had made the decision
Mhm.
Talk about what it was in that first stage. So like that first, week, the first 3 to 7 days, what was that about? Was it a difficult transition for me, or was it smooth? Talk about what that was like.
That was easy. Like I said, the options were there. And again, I know that sometimes it's a money thing, but I splurged. I
Okay.
did. I splurged to embed myself in things so that I would not have to be concerned about it.
Mm,
And the thought of no meat, no chicken, no fish,
mhm.
no eggs, no cheese, no dairy. My first thing was, okay, you guys say there's a replacement. Let me go find some cheese.
Right. Right.
Like, and I found them and I tried a few, I found some. I was like, okay, I can do it.
You
You know,
found something.
we got cheese, like, and again, again, now that I know what I know, the education of now I'm kind of backing away from the processed foods and focusing on, like, I'll have my days where it's like, you know what? I am frying some fries.
Right.
I'm going to put some salt on it. But now my body reacts to it differently. It's
Mm.
like, I still feel good, but it's like, stop, stop it. But
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, right? But the control, like I had control of that. And I made the choice to have some fries today with some salt on it.
Mhm.
And then tomorrow, all veggies all day,
Mhm.
whether it's sauteing it, no salt. You know what I mean? Like today
Yeah.
was a no
Yeah.
salt day. Today was a no salt day. But the control is amazing. So that was, again, I started off uneducated.
Okay.
You gave me a plan. I worked through that plan, figuring out what I liked, what I did not like,
Mhm.
and just started embedding myself in information
Mhm.
and finding my space in the world, in this world, because this world is growing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
Definitely.
who are these people? And I never knew them. Like,
Yeah.
and then the information is so old. Like, when I
Mm.
look at videos, this stuff is from 20 years ago.
Mm.
And the information hasn't changed. Just um, the medical impact of just on our community by itself, right?
Right.
Like, we eat ourselves to death. Literally everything that Black people go through,
Mhm.
we're eating ourselves to death.
Yes.
And it's like, oh no,
Because all
like,
the foods that we're eating, it's poisoning us.
oh no. And so it's now one of those things where you want the best for your people, but
Mhm.
I have to also realize that my choice was an epiphany, like a choice. Like mine was very, whoop, that is not normal. When I even listen to people that have been doing it for 30 years, it took them like 10 years. Like 10 of that was working through it.
Mm.
So my journey is, all I can do, like with my husband, is that every day I'm making sure there's vegetables cooked all the time, regardless of what he's choosing. There's always, hey, what vegetable do you want today?
Right.
I'm cooking 3 of them. I make sure at least one of them is something he likes. You try to just put those seeds, into, because even if someone's healthy, which is so scary,
Mhm.
but even though somebody is remotely medically by the signs and by the numbers healthy,
Mhm.
when you educate yourself in this space, you realize that it can cause catastrophic
Mm.
failures. And people don't, if you feel fine, you
Mhm.
don't know that inside there, that little vein has a weak spot that's been eaten at because of the meat, but you're still healthy. It's flowing fine.
Mhm.
But as soon as catastrophically it explodes, but you were fine. You thought you were fine. And so that's the part that really scares me. It's like,
Mhm.
you have no idea. You could be perfectly fine one day.
Mhm.
and perfectly not fine. And so things start to make more sense about what you're eating could be eating at you, not at a, I have like asthma, like somebody has asthma. It's
Right.
constant, right?
Mhm.
But you don't know that, some of your stomach has a little hole in it.
Mm.
And you're constantly eating toxic things that eat at that hole. It makes it bigger and bigger and bigger. And you think you're okay. You're like, oh, a little pain. And then it just breaks. And now you're in the hospital and you don't know why. And your whole stomach is gone. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
it just stuff like that. Just like I said, educating yourself, be like, oh
Yeah.
gosh. So that part is a little disheartening,
Yeah.
but you just have to touch the people you can touch and give what you can give and
Mhm.
stay in that space, or you could be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So the first week was, like I said, was fun for me
Mhm.
because I could try so many things. And then I realized that I had been isolating myself. When you eat certain things all the time, you're isolating yourself. When I opened myself up to just the vegetarian part
Mhm.
of it, I was like, what's that? What's
Yeah.
that? I tried this different root, and I did root stew one time, and just every Saturday I would do something different. And so once I got through the plan, I realized that what days I like certain things. I don't like smoothies every day. I like them some days, but then what am I going to eat for breakfast?
Right.
Trying different soups. I ordered things like Magic Spoon, just something that has low sugar, and trying different things to say, okay, if I do want that, trying oat milk and almond milk, trying to compare them. And again, the more I started doing that, the less processed stuff I was eating. So that was my first part of the journey. Um, and then I got to Thanksgiving, which was my 30-day mark, and I was able to have Thanksgiving. And
Mhm.
some things I did for myself, did two things, one for my husband, one for myself, one kind of casserole versus macaroni and cheese for him. And
Mhm.
I tried, faux turkey, and then I was like, I'll never eat that again, I ate that, but I ate it, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I had to try it, but I really enjoyed my Thanksgiving. I didn't feel like I was doing without. Just to that time of cooking,
Mhm.
um, enjoying it with my husband and stuff like that. It was just kind of like, because it's just the two of us. So it was
Right.
like, we really enjoyed it. Like, we enjoyed ourselves. You give thanks for the fact that you have somebody, like, and you're happy. And so that was a good time. So that was my 30-day mark. And I was really happy. And I was like, I can do this.
That is
This is me. I'm good. I'm good. So that was it. Yeah.
awesome. So that right there is like trusting the process, right? Like, you got started and it was just like you're going through these changes, but you're going to trust the process, stay committed to it. So once were fully into the plant-based diet, what changes did you notice in your mental, in your physical health? Like, were there any like results or anything that you
Mhm.
noticed significantly? Yeah.
Oh, my stomach.
Mhm.
Like people were like, well, did you lose weight? Well, I'm
Mhm.
not losing, like my next step, of course, is trying to focus on what workouts should I focus on a day-to-day basis. Cause that's always a challenge, right?
Right.
You fix one thing and now you got to go to the next
Right.
challenge. So that's all my challenge.
Mhm.
But my weight stabilized, my stomach, like I can feel it. Like I don't know what it was, but the first 10 days I would wake up
Mhm.
and I'd go, my stomach feels empty. Like there's this empty feeling
Mhm.
um, that I had never felt before.
Hmm.
And it was like, oh my goodness, like that feels awesome. Like little things like that.
Yeah.
My emotional highs and lows.
Mhm.
I'm more stable
Okay.
mentally, happy,
Mhm.
like my happiness space is stable.
Mhm.
Like because I think when you're unknowingly discomfort, where it's a discomfort where you can't go to the doctor and say I'm uncomfortable. It's not something a doctor can fix. I've stayed in that space of discomfort for so long that
Mm.
until it's gone, you don't realize it's a problem.
Mm. Yeah.
So um, I'm really just feeling happy from the inside out. So because I'm not uncomfortable.
Mm.
And I've always heard about gut health and your intestines and how it's really the feeding block of your whole body. And when that is out of whack,
Mm.
nothing works. Like nothing works right. Like, and it goes all the way to your mental state. And again, just less aggravated and
Mhm.
for no reason, like aggravated from it'd be like, oh, it's my hormones. Well, because I don't have any ovaries. So I've always kind of had highs and lows.
Mhm.
But that was one of the things that started to bother me about, was that something I could have fixed years ago. Like,
Mm.
so those highs and lows that I used to feel, I don't feel them as bad. Hot flashes when it's time for me, like I still have to take a hormonal medication, at
Mhm.
least right now. They say once I get to a certain age, I won't have to. But it seems like the healthier I'm getting, the more my body doesn't know. You're getting older, right? So hormonal imbalance,
Mhm.
sleeping, the sleeping has always been an issue with me. So that still is an issue. Like some of those same issues are still there. So I think that truly is a hormonal imbalance issue where it doesn't allow me to sleep when I'm supposed to sleep. I'm up, even though I'm tired, my body doesn't know, go to sleep. Like,
Mm.
so I'm able to distinguish between what was related to my eating possibly versus what's truly a hormonal imbalance,
Okay.
because my body's not generating any hormones like normal. Until you don't have any, you don't really know nothing about it, right? until your body's not generating those hormones that again, it's something that we think is normal.
Right.
You don't know, oh, my hormone is doing this right now.
Right. Right.
Right? You don't know until there's none and your body goes haywire. And so I can tell that my body isn't doing those same things. So that is the big thing, just being happy
Mhm.
and feeling better overall, and just now having real control. I feel like I have control of my health. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's things I don't have control of, but I feel like I have control.
Yeah. It's about
Like I
the.
said, if I eat those fries and salt and the next day my hands are a little swollen, be like, I did that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. All vegetables all day. What
Yep.
a lot, you know, uh, two of these, right? Like, narcissism, So, but that's the happiness of it. It doesn't depress me. It
Yeah.
just said, I have control of that. Like next 24 hours, I know exactly what I need to do. And I'm
Right.
going to feel better regardless. But I don't feel bad because
Right.
that's what, you know what I mean? I don't, but it's a temporary thing.
Mhm.
It's not years,
Right. Right.
it's a temporary, like, you know what? I want lemon pepper on my fries today, like enjoy it and be okay,
Yeah.
and not feel like my digestive system is gonna fall apart.
That is
So, yeah.
awesome. That is awesome. This is great. So now you are over 100 days
Yeah,
as
it was 114 today.
114.
I
Wow.
know.
Like
It's
that.
crazy. That is, when I hit 30, I was like, wow. Now it's past 90 days, and I didn't even think about the 90 days. 90 days just came and went.
Yeah, because I remember when you had texted me, oh, 90 days on Monday, and I
Oh
was
yeah, I guess I did. I did. Yeah, I did.
I was
Yeah.
like, wow, like that is amazing to hear. And so yeah, you guys, so now she is over 100 days, 114 days to be exact. And so tell us, now talk about where you are now in terms of just people who are curious about, starting a plant-based diet, people who
Mhm.
do want to go vegetarian or vegan and just don't really know
Yeah.
where to start or what it's like. What would you say to them? Talk about, where speaking from the perspective of being someone who was over 100 days into it, what's
Mhm.
your advice or anything that you would let them know about, starting? Mhm.
I think its first step is make a decision. I think that is, in our lives, we say, oh, I just can't do that. And now you can, right?
Right.
Um, there are options. There's so many options out there. Um, it's going to tap into your creativity if you really, really want it. If you want to change your health outcomes,
Mm-hmm.
you've got to do something drastic now. And I think I think there's a major difference between someone who is 20
Mm-hmm.
versus someone like me that's 50, right?
Right.
I need to make a drastic change to change my outcomes at this point, right? Because
Right.
uh, half a decade has passed, right?
Right.
It's over, right? So um, make that decision for yourself. If you are older, if you want to change your outcomes, it's got to be drastic
Mm-hmm.
because you've got more time behind you than in front of you. Um, Educate yourself. There's a lot of people out there, doctors, um, understand their credibility. Sometimes it takes a minute to find who to listen to
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of social media has blown up to everyone has a voice,
Right.
but very few have credibility.
Mm-hmm.
So listen to multiple people, understand, try to develop a plan for your body
Right.
based on, you know, right now, I'm struggling in the area of should I eat fish? You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
every time I think about it, my body goes, nope,
Mm-hmm.
don't think about it. Like it's something in my head that goes, no, you don't want that. Mm-mm. And so again, um, you've got to make your choice or make a plan to say, okay, I'm not going to do beef this week. Next, I'm not going to do chicken. Work your way up to it if the drastic, you know, the way I did it, where I literally splurged and forced success into my life, right? I
Right.
forced it. I did. And not everybody can do that. I do understand that. But there are a lot of options out there. There's a lot of different grocery stores that are now catering, Aldi's and Sprouts, where you can buy little amounts of things and they're not so expensive. But you've got to make a plan for your life. I wanted to feel better the next day. I wanted it. And
Right.
so I just grabbed it. If you feel like, well, that's not an issue for you, then you got to find out, well, what's your reason? Like, what's your reason?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got to have first. You got to have a reason to make a major change in your life, like to not eat meat or not eat dairy. So the first thing is, um, the good choices that you make, you can only win from them. Like even as a vegan, there are people dying of heart disease as a vegan, right? So I think that that's one thing I've learned, where people kind of misdirect the fact that vegan doesn't mean healthy. So you've got to learn how to read labels. There's so many things I learned about reading a label
Mm-hmm.
that I was like, what? Like, even though something says no cholesterol, well, that means it's probably vegan. However, there's milk products that don't give off cholesterol after they take everything out of it. And then, so prime example is pancake mix.
Right.
Most of them are considered vegan until you read the label and it says milk byproducts or milk derivatives. You're like, well, it says zero cholesterol. Well, if you understand the math, it's so little, it's such a small amount that it doesn't register. So, it's learning that kind of stuff. When I was able to figure out, and that was like probably a couple of months, no, about a month in,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was able to go through my own pantry because I thought it was stuff I couldn't eat. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, this is good. Oh, but, watching the salt, like, okay, so what can I put with this or cut it in half and, you
Mm-hmm.
know, make it okay. Like, so that learning, educating myself is the biggest thing that I think
Yeah.
um, helps you understand why you're doing it.
Right.
I think some people look at it as a fad. People are vegan one week and they go out and they have a burger. with their friends because they don't feel like they have to go, they don't want to go without,
Right.
you know? And so I think the biggest thing is figure out the goal
Mm-hmm.
and then stick to that one little goal. My thing was people were asking me, well, is there any reason why you wouldn't do that? And like the fact that I felt so much better in my stomach, I would never go back. I
Wow.
don't want that. Like
Yeah.
I don't if I don't work out another day, if
Mm-hmm.
I did nothing else but not eat meat and dairy,
Mm-hmm.
I would stay right there.
Wow.
Because being able to feel better
Mm-hmm.
in my stomach like that, when you don't have it and then it comes, you're like, I'm not letting that go for nothing. Like
Right.
my husband has grilled the whole cow and the pig and the fish in one day.
Wow.
And I just go, do I want that? Like I get to think, do I want that? And my mind says, nope, let's just make him a salad and we'll have salad. Or
It's
or if it gets really bad, like I remember one time he had grilled everything. So what did I do? I went, no, it wasn't that. My aunt wanted some chicken wings. She's 84 and every once in a while she wants chicken wings. So I went to Wingstop and got her some chicken wings. That smell was like, oh my God, that smells so good. So literally I went, found me a hot wing sauce that was vegan. And most of them are vegan, actually. When you really look at some of the ingredients, people think, oh, it's got butter in it. Most of them don't have no butter in it at all. It's just hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And I got some cauliflower and I covered it in hot sauce and
Yeah.
ate it. Like, I was like, woo. Like, so that is the only time, and that was recent, where I had that smell. And it was the smell of a hot wing that it was like, oh, that used to be so good, But I had to hold off, take her stuff, go to the grocery store, cook my, and I just roasted them and then just covered them in hot sauce. Like, I need that hot feeling in my mouth.
Yeah.
Kill that craving because so that's the only craving I've had that was like, and so that wasn't even it was more the smell.
Okay. Yeah.
Wasn't the fact that it was chicken. It was
Right.
that smell of fried hot
Food.
wings.
Yeah, just to just smell like it's something good to go cooking up in there.
My body was like, I know what that is. I know that smell. I know that smell.
Yeah.
And but I had an option. I had to wait a little bit. And that's the thing, being patient with yourself to say, yep, I know what I want.
Yes.
Now, how do I get it and don't destroy my goal?
Mm.
Right? How
Mm-hmm.
do I get it and soothe whatever that is, whatever it is? Like, I don't want to feel like I'm deprived,
Right.
but I don't want to go back. So how do I, and of course, once I have that, now I have to consider the salt, oil, sugar situation. So
Mm-hmm.
that means drinking a whole lot of water the next 24 hours, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Being able to balance my life and not struggle through it. Just say, yes, you want something hot and salty.
Okay.
How do I get it? And then move on from it. Like not be stuck. How do I have a little bit of that and then still be on my goal
Right.
and move on to the next thing? So that's my next thing is salt, oil, and sugar. Balancing all of that out of my life as much as I can,
Mm-hmm.
like especially do I always have to use a little oil to saute something? Not actually. How do I do that? With a little water, a little vegetable, veggie broth. How do I start doing that? So I'm being more mindful of that.
Mm-hmm.
I love my only guilty pleasure is fish sauce. I love Chinese food.
Yes.
So fish sauce is the matter of fact, I can say is the only thing I've had.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love, it's called lemongrass tofu.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so good. And I was like, Does this derail me? No. It is a sauce, and it's a thin, it's kind of like soy sauce, but
Okay.
it's made from a fish or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was like, you know what? I'm okay with that,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm okay with that because I enjoy the tofu because I've learned to enjoy tofu.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It
I
is
like
good,
tofu, but
right?
it's like, but it's lemongrass or tofu pho. That's like another one of my favorite things. Like
Okay.
those are two of my favorite things.
Yeah.
And it's just, and I've made the lemongrass with just the fish sauce and like I don't have lemongrass, so I bought lemongrass turmeric and
Okay.
make the sauce myself and enjoy the cooking. I think that's a big thing, the creativeness in the cooking,
Yeah.
because I've learned if you've got an onion, green pepper, and some tomatoes, or even just onions and green peppers, you could do anything. That's
Literally.
the base of anything good.
Yeah.
Like, the base ingredients. So that's been it, just you
Mm-hmm.
gotta, if you don't like to cook, I think that's a challenge. If you don't like to cook,
Mm-hmm.
then you may be challenged with either eating too much processed foods,
Mm-hmm.
which was like my next step was when I backed off the processed foods, where on a daily basis, I'm not eating them all the time. It's just kind of a couple times a week or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then like one meal out of the day. Um, so I think that's the thing. If you don't like to cook, you got to figure your niche. You got to figure out your niche or figure out a way to get those good things into your diet without having to pay so much money and enjoy it too. Like, so, but I've always liked to cook. So that, like, I would do a big meal on the weekends that would last me a couple days, and then I could add to it, like stuff like if it was a soup, then I could add beans to it later on in the week if I wanted to fortify it a little bit more, that kind of thing. So, now I'm more into the whole food. Like I'm buying the collards. I tried collards a couple times and really enjoyed those. And even Glenn, my husband, he enjoyed them. So yeah, he enjoyed it. Like he was like, those was good. And I didn't get to eat much of it because he ate it all. So, so that's the win. But I think that's the big thing. You've got to find your reason.
Yeah.
And then even if you slip,
Mm-hmm.
it's not really a slip. It's just, it's not perfectly, I always say there's always this level of perfection. Yes, if I could eat all whole foods, no salt, no oil, no sugar,
Right.
life would be perfect, right?
Right.
Nope, it
But
would
it's
not.
not a
I would
perfect
not
journey.
be happy.
Right. The journey is not perfect.
No, so we're not going to even try that, right? But
Right.
also, but you strive towards that
Right.
when as much as possible.
That's
And
right.
so that's the thing, you gotta know. And that was my thing. I just wanted to feel better.
Yeah.
And as long as I maintain that goal, I've won.
That's right. That's
I
right.
won. I mean,
As long
I
as you
can't
feel
go
good
back. I
in
can't.
your body.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel so much better. I mean, again, that's the thing. I was like, what? It was that easy?
Yeah.
And again, that was me. But when you get to that feeling, and I think as a woman, we ache for multiple reasons on a monthly basis, right?
Mhm.
So sometimes you get used to discomfort. We
Mm.
don't realize it's not normal.
Right. Right.
And the doctor's not going to be able to figure it out for you. It's really self-directed.
Right.
It's self-directed. And I have a very good doctor, and she's always kind of said, hey, don't, stay away from, certain things. But again, it wasn't as drastic. But when I told her, luckily with my doctor, she was like, okay, because I've had issues with cholesterol.
Mm.
So I was going to talk about that. Yeah, with my cholesterol, my numbers literally flipped.
Mm.
So all of my LDL went down, my HDL went up. But as I'm studying, I know I've got to get both of them down now. Having a high HDL isn't always a good thing
Right.
because my overall cholesterol is still high. So it's below normal, but it's still high from, I want to get it lower. Okay, of course. So that's without meat. So I know that things like salt and oil and sugar may be doing something different. Like it's not always about the cholesterol, it's how your body's reacting
Mm-hmm.
to the like why am I generating so much of the HDL now? So and it's hard, it's amazing. This is one area that a lot of people don't have information on either. So that is like, okay, I got to figure that out. Like,
Yeah.
so like I said, I'm doing different testing, different things. Like I said, the salt, oil, and sugar, like I said, is the next thing. And just work to a healthier life, and
Right.
just to figure out why is my body, because that's definitely me now. Like there is no animal products in there. So that's definitely me. What am I doing? That's not the standard. You know what I mean?
Right.
As far as when I even look at other people, we've talked about different numbers. Mine are weird. Like LDL's low. All my numbers are in range, but my overall cholesterol is still just below normal. So it's like, what's that? So
Mm-hmm.
study yourself to be approved here. So I'm just going to keep working on it and keep moving forward and keep moving, work out more. Maybe that's what I need to do is just beat it out of me somehow, work out more. Maybe that'll just make it work.
Yeah,
Some stuff is that simple,
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Oftentimes we tend to complicate things more than what
mhm.
we have to. So
Yeah. But thank you so much for your support. Again, you were part of the making it easy. It was like, well, I didn't have to really again, if you know the people, you just reach out to your community to say, okay, hey, you're in this space, what are you doing? So thank you so much for your support. It's
absolutely.
made it very easy. Easy.
Absolutely. Yes,
So,
well, there you have it. It's very, very important, you guys, to have a purpose, do it with intent, set a goal, see the vision, and execute. It's very,
yep.
very important. So yes, this was amazing. Thank you for sharing your experience, and I hope that this helped someone out there who needed to hear this and who's thinking about changing their diet or just becoming healthier in fitness, lifestyle, health, diet, all of that. So thank you so much, Yvette, for sharing with us, and we will wrap this up.
All right.
All
Thank you.
right. Thank you.